All right, before we get started, we're gonna work on a little bit of our shoulder activation, core activation, and hip and leg activation. So we're gonna start facing the wall. Hands are about shoulder distance apart. You're gonna start just gradually walking those hands up until those shoulders start to feel like they're activated. Then you're gonna walk those back down. We're gonna be hanging out here for about 10 rounds, walking all the way up and all the way back down. Gradually getting higher every single time. After we complete about 10 rounds, we're gonna turn so our back faces the wall. Now we're gonna start with our hands down by our hips. We want our glutes and our shoulders touching the wall. We're gonna slide the knuckles all the way up above the head and then all the way back down to the hips. Again, we want about 10 rounds here, trying to get those hands closer to touching overhead every time and then back down. After we do 10 here, we're gonna make it a little bit harder, working more of that shoulder, where we hold this T position. We want our knuckles and our elbows on the wall. Our feet can be about a foot away from the wall just to add that extra support. We're gonna be sliding the knuckles up above the head, trying to keep the elbows on the wall, and then back down to shoulder height. Trying to keep that 90-degree angle between the elbow and body here. We want about 10 here. And then we'll feel our upper bodies activated. Then we're gonna turn to face the wall again. Now we're gonna do a little hip activation. So we're going to start about a foot away from the wall. We're holding onto the wall for stability. We have that left leg kicking forward for 10, and then we'll kick out to the side for 10. Holding those shoulder blades back, standing up tall. We've got 10 to the side and 10 to the back. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the right side. We've got 10 forward, and then 10 to the side, and 10 backwards. We're gonna do 3 rounds of that to get those hips activated. So you may wanna pause the video here till you complete those 3 rounds. Go at your own pace though, so if you feel like you need to take a little bit longer, don't be afraid. And then our next one for our warm-up is gonna be a wall sit. We're gonna walk those shoulders along the wall. The feet are gonna be about a foot, maybe a foot and a half out on the wall. And then we're gonna put the hands on the wall just to help counterbalance for a little bit extra stability. We'll slide the hips down. Ideally, we wanna get the hips and knees in line with each other while keeping the knees behind the toes. So we're working on a wall sit here. So a little activation through the quad, through the hamstring, through the glutes, and of course that core here too. We're gonna hold here for about 30 seconds or until you feel like you can't hold it anymore safely. Then we'll slide all the way back up, lock this feet in, take a step out, take about 20 seconds rest. We've got 3 rounds there. All right, we're gonna move on to a little boxing. We're gonna start with your feet underneath your hips. Our hands are gonna be right here at your chest, keeping that rib cage tucked down. We're gonna start with just some basic jabs. So we're using that core to create the force. As you're punching, you're hitting right in the center of the chest, working on that jab. Power comes from the core, from the hips. We're not locked out in the hips or the knees. We want a nice soft bend here. We've got our jab first. We've got about 30 seconds practicing here. Then we're gonna go to a cross jab. Hitting in front of the opposite shoulder. We're doing a little twist in that upper core to hit in front of the opposite shoulder. Next, we're on to some uppercuts. This one, we're gonna swing around the side, making contact in front of the chest. Palm is towards the body as you make contact. Power again comes from the core, this time from the oblique. Making contact on the side of the imaginary bag. Our last one is gonna be an uppercut. So starting at the chest, we're coming down to the hip, using that lower abdomen to make contact. On the way up, we have our uppercuts. We got about 30-second practice there. All right, after we've got a good little practice in, we're gonna go over our combinations. We're gonna ideally do each combination for about 2 minutes practice, or until you feel like you've got it. What I want you guys to do also is to say what you're doing, just so we can work on that loud voice. So when we're together again, we're gonna be nice and loud. So our first combination is going to be right jab, left hook. Starting with the feet underneath the hips, we have 2 right jabs hitting in the center of the chest, and then a left hook around the side. So we're switching directions, right jab, left hook, right jab, left hook, right jab, left hook. We want to do about 2 minutes on that side. Then we're going to switch over to the left side. So now we have nice strong position, left jab, right hook, left jab, right hook. We're going to do about 2 minutes on that side as well. And then our next combination, we've got 4 moves in it. We have a right jab, right uppercut, left uppercut. So we're switching jab, jab, upper, upper, jab, jab, upper, upper. So even though we're not punching that bag, we're not having that resistance to stop, we'll have to control the stop ourselves with the jab, jab, upper, upper, jab, jab, upper, upper, jab, jab, upper, upper. All right, we want about 2 minutes practicing that, working all sides of that core with the jab, that center core, and then the uppercut, that lower abdomen to hold us stable. Then we're on to our last combination. For 2 minutes of practice here, we have a right jab, and then we have a right hook, left hook. So right jab, right hook, left hook. Jab, jab, hook, hook. Keeping that core stable, we want the jabs, ribcage tucked, hook. We want that abdomen to twist around on the side. We want that oblique activated. Jab, jab, hook, hook. Jab, jab, hook, hook. Let's practice that for about 2 minutes. On to our last section. This is a 6-minute AMRAP. So what that means is we're going to do 3 moves for 10 repetitions and repeat those same moves for a full 6 minutes. Our goal here is just to get the heart rate up as high as possible and then work on that large movement practice. So even if you feel like you need to take a little break in that 6 minutes, listen to yourself, listen to your own body, take that breath, take that water, but remember it's only 6 minutes. But we do get a little fun, we get to do it 2 times. So we're gonna go over all the moves and then I'll practice all the moves and the counting with you, and then you will do it for 6 minutes. Then you'll take a 2-minute rest where you can recover, just kind of walk around the room. Then you get to do it 6 more minutes on your own. So we have an AMRAP, or we have in high knees to start. We're gonna start with arms straight out, shoulders are rolled back, rib cage is tucked down. By now we should be nice and warmed up. As we lift that knee, we're shifting the weight between the feet. We've got high knee lifts here. This one we're gonna count every lift as 1. Even if this is too hard or we're not quite ready for that yet, we can just do some toe taps forward. We're really just focusing on that shifting of the weight here. Our next move is gonna be a jumping jack. So ideally we wanna sweep those arms up, jump the feet out to the side, and jump back in to work on that explosive hip movement. If that's too difficult, we need to take a little regression. We'll sweep the arms up overhead and toe taps to the side. So each toe tap to the side will count as 1. And then our last move here is gonna be a cross-body reach. We're gonna reach that left arm to the top corner of the room. That left foot taps out to the side. Then we'll switch sides. Right arm reaches, and right foot taps to the side. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like that. I'm gonna do the first round of counting with you, and then I want you guys to pause the video. You've got 6 minutes on your own with repeating all 3 of these movements. So we're going to start with those arms straight out. We've got high knees. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And our jumping jack, sweeping the arms up, toe taps to the side. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And cross body reaches. Left arm, left leg reaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and remember those regressions. If it gets too difficult, you're breathing too hard, listen to your body. Make sure you're taking breaks when you need to. So let's set those timers for 6 minutes. You've got 6 minutes straight through, get the heart rate up. Then you're gonna take a 2-minute break, and then you're gonna do 6 more minutes, just 1 more time now. So a total of 12 minutes of that intense cardio, and then you guys will be all done for the day. Remember to do your stretches that we always do working all major muscle groups, and I hope I get to see you guys soon.